question that I get asked a lot is, are you happy all the time? And the answer is no. Please talk to my family. I also get asked, do you like everything about your life? The answer is again, no, I don't. I also get asked, do you enjoy your work? And the answer to that one is more than 90% of the time. Really, truly, deeply, absolutely. How did I get to be so lucky? I made a choice. I made a choice that I would not compromise on working if I was not happy working. I made this choice more than 20 years ago. And I'm reaping the benefits of that choice today. The good news is that you don't have to walk on a 20-year-long journey. You can actually reap the fruits of my hard work, my experience, my painful learnings, my grit and determination, my searching, my experimentations with the inner world, with the outer world, and make your transition much faster, much more effective. So let me take you 20 years back. I was an engineer from IIT Madras, an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad, landed in multinational jobs, big brands, jobs that typically people would kill for. Then when I started working, I was not happy working. I found my work frustrating. You know this term, Monday morning blues. I was experiencing it every day of the morning. And that was when a deeper part of me said, this is not acceptable. I didn't want to work just for the money, just for the livelihood. And I also didn't want to work just because I had the degrees that would give me a job to work. So I was like, I'm not doing this unless it's fun for me. I'm spending 10, 12 hours at work and it's not working. So I was just complaining to everyone around me that I don't like this. And it wasn't easy, let me tell you, because when I was complaining, almost everybody I knew was like, oh, Ramya, it'll get okay, just adjust. People judged me. Why can't you be happy when everyone else is happy? People would kill for what you have, you ungrateful girl. I received all of that judgment, but inside I was, no, I'm not compromising on this. Fortunately for me, I had someone in my life. She was an ex-teacher. Her name is Indira Parekh. Beautiful, beautiful woman. She heard all my complaints and she turned them into questions, and she told me, Ramya, the real questions in your head are about the relationship between human beings and work. You should go study that. Believe me, I was an engineer. I took all the operations electives when I was at IMA because I valued efficiency. I had pretty much not paid attention in my OB classes, and I was like, what? Study organizational behavior? But you know what this lady had done? She had taken my complaints and rants, which everyone else was just trying to hey, be happy, no problem, take a break. No one was giving me solutions, but she had offered a path. So I took that leap of faith and said, maybe there are questions. And I realized there were questions. And I set out, and she wrote me a beautiful letter of recommendation. And I think thanks to that, I got admission into London Business School to study organizational behavior, which really is the study of people at work. But I also had deeper questions, which I started looking at in the fields of social science, psychology, neuroscience. Apart from my formal curriculum at London Business School, I dove into Indian philosophy, I dove into Western philosophy, I went for a Vipassana retreat, and then I dove into Buddhist philosophy. I lived in a yogic ashram. I was searching everywhere, like anywhere anybody had anything to say about the relationship between human beings and their work. And by then, work had just started to mean an action, a form of action, which it truly is. I was there studying it, learning it, testing it out, working through it. And then I had my own trials and my own journeys, right? I became a mother, I took a break, so I experienced 2 years of not doing formal professional work, but pure motherhood, which is a different kind of work. Had my ups and downs with that, had my own learnings in multiple ways. Learned, and I was the guinea pig. I started learning energy modalities, pranic healing, Reiki, access consciousness, EFT. I was doing all of it. I started learning more, and I started finding that there were things that we could do outside, there were things that we could do inside. everything aimed at just enabling us as individuals to enjoy our work. In my own career, I became a management professor. I finished my PhD. I became a full-time professor at IIM Bangalore. I started with my maiden elective, my very first year at work. It's called Personal Values, Goals and Career Options. I started it in 2010. I am still teaching, although I'm not a full-time faculty at IIM Bangalore. Again, I still go back to teach it. Last year, I taught it in every term. And this course, this is a course that got recognized by the MHRD and I was recognized as one of the top 15 innovators in the country thanks to this course again. It's pretty much grown with me. It's a journey where I take the students through understanding what they care about, what means most to them, that's personal values, and then setting goals around that in terms of crafting their work and their lives. I developed my own body of work called Crafting Our Lives, trained as a coach. I'm a career coach as well now. And the reason I'm bringing this all up here today is that there's something that happened this week. A colleague of mine asked me to do a half-day workshop titled Joy of Work for officers ranging from their 20s to post-retirement from the armed forces, from the Army, Navy, and Air Force, who have finished their military assignment and now they're looking for new jobs. When I conducted this half-day workshop for them, I realized that along my own journey of 20 years, thanks to all the work that I've done with myself, my students, my clients, my coaches, I've actually carved that energetic pathway. I've become that embodiment of joy at work, of enjoying work. It is in me. It is my energetic signature. And therefore, just with that presence, I'm able to very quickly break the energetic patterns that are there. There were 60 people who were resisting and saying, of course, it's not possible. And just by standing there in that classroom with the complete conviction of course it's possible, it's a journey. It requires some work, some inner work, some alignment work, some possibility work, busting of some limiting beliefs, but it's possible. 60 of you telling me it's not possible is not going to change me. And I just held my presence and my conviction. I didn't have to hold it, I was being it. And at the end of that half day, everybody had transformed. When I asked for a show of hands, every single hand in the classroom went up. Every single hand that was so skeptical at the start of the workshop. And I do not believe any longer that this is just cognitive. Of course, we did 4 exercises, and I've over the years, I've created exercises, powerful exercises, I grant it. But there was something here that went beyond the exercises, and that's what I think it's that energetic presence, conviction, presence. And I feel truly blessed that I could do that just by embodying that conviction. That's what I am here to offer alongside the exercises, alongside the coaching, alongside the advice that comes from the experience and from seeing and witnessing and facilitating and winning the transitions of so many other people. I'm also here to just hold that space for you. So if you're watching this video, just tap into my presence, tap into the energy I embody. It's every part of who Ramya is believes this, because I know this, because I made a choice and I worked through it from all angles, every angles. Truly, we have a birthright to enjoy our work. What can be enjoyable. If you would like me to facilitate an opening for you in walking this further, I have an invitation for you. It's going to be a weekend retreat in April. I'll have more about that in the comments below. And I'll have a form where you can let me know if you want to join. And let me tell you what we'll be doing in this retreat. It is not going to be the entire career crafting journey. When I do coaching, it's usually a 9-month journey because it takes time. I can condense your journey from 20 years to 9 months, not to 20 days. You have to do some of the work. You have to do the work. But what we can do in this weekend retreat is we can pull out and we can bust some of the major limiting blocks that hold us captive. So let me give you an analogy here. When you want to build a beautiful mansion, you go brick by brick and design by design and foundation. And that's all the conditioning that's happened in us about what work means. We have all these beliefs that no, work can't be enjoyable. I just need to work in order to make a living. And then I go and do something else that I enjoy. Or work has to be stressful. Or only if I work very hard and kill myself and drain myself, does it mean that I'm actually doing something important? We have all this mountain of beliefs, mountain of conditioning that we've built up. But when we want to demolish it, you don't have to bring down the entire, you don't have to do belief by belief by belief, right? That could take forever. That could take more than 20 years also. What you need to do when you demolish a building is you just look at the foundational pillars, a few of them, put dynamite in those pillars. When those pillars break, the entire building cascades. So this is part of the work that we will be doing in our weekend retreat. A, what are the foundational pillars that hold 90% of us captive? B, if there's something very specific to you, I'll be able to figure that out as well, and we'll bust those basic pillars. The other thing that we will do is introspective exercises to bring an awareness of your core self. What is that? Your values, the things that you hold deeply meaningful, the gifts, the natural talents that you came with, your own superpowers. This is you. It's like the core essence of you. Bringing that back into the center of you, your awareness, your life, your self-concept, so that you now can craft your work around that, rather than taking you and fitting it into a box and saying, try to make the best of this box. First, stepping back to say, okay, what's my core, what's my essence, who am I? And now, how can I bring this core essence of mine to life, to action, through work? Okay, so that's the second thing that we'll be doing. The third thing that we'll be doing is getting you started on a journey of prototyping. Prototyping is a concept that I've picked up from design thinking. I've been using it completely in this journey of crafting our lives, our work, our career. I'm sure you've heard of some people who got up one day and said, I know this is my calling, or this is what I have to do, and they just quit their job and they went into it, and great. For most of us, it's not been that way. It doesn't mean that if you don't take that big leap and that big plunge, there's no other way of actually transitioning into work that you enjoy more. There is an incremental way. There is a searching way, and that's the prototyping way, which means you can stay in your current job, you can stay in your current home, your current lifestyle, and do experiments like internships, like interviews, like checking out, testing the waters, allowing that to tell you more about yourself, more about the context, doing that. And then using that information to then make your choices again. And some people make bigger leaps, some people make smaller leaps, people doing the whole range. It's your choice. It's your choice. So that's what we'll be doing in the retreat. And I do want to address one more thing. I get asked a lot also. What about money? Here's the thing. I'm glad to say and grateful to say I've cracked that code as well, and I'll give it to you. It's so simple. You know, in hindsight, you're like, oh my God, this is so obvious. Why didn't I know this before? So your ability to earn and receive money is directly proportional to your willingness to serve. Does it sound like I've picked this out of a spiritual textbook? Maybe, but it's practical in its application, and try it out. When I'm designing curriculum, creating programs, coaching, training, the hat I'm wearing is I want to serve, I want this to be useful, I want you to benefit, I want you to get value, transformation, change, right? So that's the service mentality. Now, if I am willing to serve someone and the service is useful, is it not obvious that that person will be willing to pay for that service? You're creating value. We can all make money very easily as long as the money-making aspect of the work that we do, we want to really craft it in, if I may use the word, bhava or attitude or mindset of service. Does that make sense? I just want to let you know that enjoying work or working from your core essence or working in rhythm with your natural, this is who I am and this is what I love, does not have to be at the cost of earning money. It does not, in fact, have to be at the cost of anything.